Very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. I hope you guys are doing good. In the previous 3 sessions, we discussed process costing. It was a method of costing used by the companies wherein the raw material has to pass through two or more than two processes before being converted into final product. In this, we discussed what is normal loss, what is abnormal loss, what is abnormal gain, and the treatment thereof. Thereafter, we discussed a question wherein the output of a particular process is transferred to the next process at cost plus profit. Thereafter, the most important part of the chapter, that is valuation of work in progress. I hope you guys are thorough with the concept of valuation of work in progress, wherein we discuss the basic question plus the advanced question wherein abnormal loss or abnormal gain or normal loss is given. I hope you guys have solved all the questions of study material. So now, one second. There is a query from Shreya Shah. One second. A long query. Shreya Shah, when talking about FIFO method, we consider only the cost that is incurred during the year. We calculate the equivalent cost per unit. And when we are calculating the value of units transferred, the cost that is incurred previously plus the cost that is incurred in the current year, the total amount will be the cost of the units that are transferred. But when talking about weighted average method, the name itself says weighted average method. Since in the statement of equivalent number of units, we are considering both the units. That is the units that are completed in the previous year plus the units that are processed in the current year. Since we are taking both the units, I repeat again, since we are taking in weighted average method, since we are considering both the units that are completed previous year and the units that are completed in the current year. That's why we will be taking both the cost to calculate the cost per unit. That is the cost incurred in the previous year and the cost incurred in the current year. That is what weighted average method is. Very good morning, Saiba Virali. Very good morning, Sunil Kumar. Very good morning, Sri Lakshmi. Very good morning, Sushil. So now let's start with altogether a new chapter. Another part of method of costing, that is service costing. So now what is service costing? Contract costing, construction wale use karte the. Process costing, manufacturing concern, wherein the raw material has to pass through various processes. They use process costing. Now ye service costing kaun use karta hai? So this method of costing is used by those companies wherein this method of costing is used by those companies who are into service sector, who are engaged in providing some sort of services to us. Let's say transportation company, again they are providing services to us. So to calculate the cost per unit, they will be using service costing. Similarly, hospital industry, again to calculate the cost per bed, they will be using service costing. Another example, let's say restaurants and all, again to calculate the cost per unit, they will be using service costing. Another example of service sector based companies can be health and wellness, gym, salons. So all these are the service sector companies. Insurance companies, the people who are into collection of tolls. Apart from this, the educational institution. So all these companies who are engaged in providing services to us, uses service costing technique to calculate the cost per unit, and accordingly they fix up the selling price. So So the name itself says service costing. So this method of costing is used by the companies who are into service sector. Examples are hotel industry, hospital industry, transportation industry, education institution. Now, let me brief you the concept of this service costing. Let's say I'm into transportation business. And I do provide bus services from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. The total distance is of 500 kilometers. And let's say the seating capacity of my buses is 50 passengers. Further, when talking about the total cost of a trip, let's say the cost is 50,000 rupees. Now, let's assume some different situation, how the transport company will quote us the fare. Now, let's say this bus is operating directly from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. अब ये अपना per passenger fare कैसे figure out करेगा? Very simple. Again, there is no stoppage between Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So how he will quote the fare? Very simple. When there are no stoppage. Very simple. How he will quote the fare? Very simple. My cost is 50,000. How much passengers are traveling? The capacity is 50 passengers. Assuming it is going with 100% occupancy in every trip. So how much fare he will be charging? Approx 1,000 rupees per passenger. So how much will be the cost per passenger? 1,000 rupees per passenger. Let's say he want to earn a profit of 200 per passenger. So 1,000 plus 200, 1,200 will be the selling price of the ticket. So let's say I repeat again, I'm operating a bus service from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. Mumbai से Ahmedabad में बस चला रहा हूँ, 500 kilometers is the distance. The total seating capacity is 50 passenger. Yes, again it is a service costing only, Manoj Kumar. Now the seating capacity is 50 passenger. अब बस का टिकट कितना कोट करेगा हर पैसेंजर को? Very simple. My total cost is 50,000. The bus goes with 100% occupancy every time, divided by the number of passenger. So how much fare will be the per passenger? Very simple, 1,000. Now let's take one more situation. Let's say Mr. Abdul approaches me that I want to hire this bus completely for a trip. मुझे ये बस पूरी एक ट्रिप के लिए आपसे किराए पे लेना है. Now, again, I can't quote the fare per passenger. In that case, I have to quote the fare per kilometer. Let's say I repeat again, Mr. Abdul approaches me, sir, I want this bus from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So tell me how much fare per kilometer you will be charging. इसके अंदर per passenger fare काम नहीं चलेगा. So very simple. What I will do is, when the entire bus is taken on hire. Again, my total cost is how much? 50,000. I have to quote Mr. Abdul the cost. Sorry, I have to quote Mr. Abdul the fare per kilometer. Because herein, since he is taking the entire bus on hire, तो कितने पैसेंजर बैठा है वो उसका हेडेक है, मेरा हेडेक नहीं है. I will be earning the fare per kilometer. So my total cost is how much? 50,000. How much distance I will be traveling? 500 kilometers. So how much fare I will be quoting? Very simple. 100 rupees per kilometer. मैं बोलूंगा मिस्टर अब्दुल, आई विल बी रिक्वायरिंग ₹100 पर किलोमीटर. आप 2 पैसेंजर बैठा हो, 10 पैसेंजर बैठा हो या 60 पैसेंजर्स बैठा हो, इट इज नन ऑफ माय बिजनेस. माय पॉइंट इज आई जस्ट वांट ₹100 per kilometer. That's it. So I have discussed two situations wherein the bus is operating directly from Mumbai to Ahmedabad with no stoppage. How much fare per passenger I'll be charging? 50,000 divided by 50 passengers traveling. So my cost per passenger will be how much? ₹1,000. But let's say if Mr. Abdul approaches me that, sir, I want to take the complete bus on hire. So what I will be doing, I'll be calculating cost per kilometer. So 50,000 divided by the kilometers traveled. Plus profit in all these cases. Now, let's say the distance from Mumbai to Ahmedabad is 500 kilometers. The bus take intermediate halt. The bus take halt in the intermediate station. Let's say Mumbai to Surat, it take the first halt, then Vadodara the second halt, and finally the bus reaches Ahmedabad. The distance from Mumbai to Surat is, let's say, 150 kilometers. From Mumbai to Vadodara, let's say it is 400 kilometers. And from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, as I've already told you guys, let's say it is 500 kilometers. अब कोई पैसेंजर मुंबई से सूरत जाएगा, कोई पैसेंजर मुंबई से वडोदरा जाएगा, कोई पैसेंजर मुंबई से अहमदाबाद जाएगा. And I am running the bus service. Now the point is how to quote the cost of per person, how to quote the fare per passenger, because इसके अंदर per kilometer का concept तो लगेगा ही नहीं, because I am operating the bus. अब मुझे various passengers को fare quote करना पड़ेगा. So the point is how will I quote the fare? मैं per passenger 1,000 rupees charge नहीं कर सकता. 50,000 divided by 50, because again the fare will be different from Mumbai to Surat, Surat to Vadodara, Vadodara to Ahmedabad, or Surat to Ahmedabad, because इसके अंदर distance travel भी matter करेगा and number of passengers travel भी matter करेगा. We can't calculate the cost per kilometer. We have to consider the number of passengers as well as the number of kilometers. So herein the concept of composite unit comes into picture. Herein both the factors are important. That is, the passengers are important because I have to quote the fare per passenger. Plus the distance traveled is also important. So herein, when the bus takes stoppage at intermediate station. So herein the concept of composite units comes into picture because kilometer traveled be important and number of passenger traveled is also important. Assuming the bus is going with 100% occupancy, so my total cost is how much? 50,000. Since the kilometer traveled is also important and the passenger traveled is also important, so we will calculate the cost per passenger kilometer. We will calculate the cost पर सीधी और आसान भाषा में पर पैसेंजर पर किलोमीटर कितना खर्चा आता है तो वेरी सिंपल 50,000 is my total cost divided by 50 is my passenger and 500 kilometers I am traveling. So my cost per passenger kilometer will be rupees 2. That is the cost per passenger kilometer is rupees 2. मतलब per passenger per kilometer 2 rupees charge कर. So, if a person is traveling from Mumbai to Surat, since we have already calculated the cost per passenger kilometer, so per passenger per kilometer rupees 2 charge करना है. So, since if a particular person is traveling from Mumbai to Surat, he is traveling how many kilometers? 150 kilometers. Per passenger per kilometer खर्चा कितना आता है? Rupees 2. So my fare will be rupees 300 plus the profit. Suppose a person is traveling from Mumbai to Vadodara. Again, कितना distance travel कर रहा हूं मैं? 400 kilometers. So 400 kilometers travel कर रहा है particular passenger. So herein again the passenger is important and the kilometer is also important. So my cost per passenger per kilometer कितना है? Rupees 2. So per passenger per kilometer it is rupees 2 and the distance traveled is 400. So the fare per passenger will be how much? 800. Similarly, from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, the distance is 500 kilometers. So the fare per passenger for every kilometer traveled is 2. So 500 into 2, 1000. This is what the concept of composite unit. So this concept is widely used in all the industries. Rather than this concept, ये concept कब लगेगा? When there is a non-stoppage travel, that is bus is traveling directly from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, this approach can be used. Another point, if the complete bus is taken on hire, again we can use this approach. But ये जो दो situations होती है hardly होती है practical life में. In practical life, this situation is widely used. So if you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can ask me. So this is, we are considering only one unit. So it is single unit. And where we are using more than one unit, that is 2 units. This is the concept of composite unit. Now, if you guys have any query, you guys can please post your queries. The main point is concepts clear होना चाहिए कि which method is to be used when. See, examiner आपको इसके ऊपर नहीं पूछेगा, but after clearing CA, you will be working in companies, so you should understand what is the approach of calculating the cost per unit. Yes, Priyanka, any doubts? Yes, it is very easy, Manoj. Priyanka, Shivani. Alok, any doubts? Shreya, any doubts? Raboni, how are you? Very good morning, my dear. I hope you have solved all the questions of process costing, Raboni. You are facing many difficulties. Okay, so there is a query from Sri Lakshmi sir. What about Vadodara to Surat? Surat to Vadodara. So herein, The distance from Surat to Vadodara will be how much? Mumbai to Vadodara, it is 400 kilometers. Mumbai to Surat, it is 150 kilometers. So how much will be the distance from Surat to Vadodara? 250 kilometers. The distance from Surat to Vadodara will be 250 kilometers. So how much will be the fare from Surat to Vadodara? So 250 kilometers per passenger per kilometer cost is ₹2. So the fare will be ₹500. Yes, Abdul. Yes, Dhanesh Ingle. This method can be used by chartered accountants also. At the end of the day, they are providing services. I'm assuming there is an 100% occupancy. अगर एक पैसेंजर उतरता है तो दूसरा पैसेंजर immediately चढ़ जाता है. I'm assuming 100% occupancy. Just Shah. If you're saying 10 passengers are traveling from Mumbai to Surat, so Mumbai to Surat, out of 50, 10, out of 50 passengers, 10 passengers are traveling from Mumbai to Surat. So once they deboard the bus, again 10 new passengers will join us in the bus from Surat to Mumbai. Sorry, from Surat to Ahmedabad. So ultimately, on an average, 50 passengers are traveling from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So we are assuming that the bus is 100% occupied. अगर सूरत पे कुछ पैसेंजर उतरेंगे तो वापस सूरत पे कुछ पैसेंजर चढ़ेंगे भी ना. So the balance amount 700 will be recovered from Surat to Ahmedabad from the remaining 10 passengers who have boarded the bus from Surat. Any doubts, anyone? So wherein we use only one element, that is single unit. Where we use 2 points or 2 units, it is composite unit. Again, I repeat, guys, I am assuming the bus is 100% occupied. No seats are vacant in the bus at any point. But neither at Surat, nor at Vadodara, nor at Mumbai. I'll be discussing all the cost components, Manoj Kumar Thakur. So guys, let's proceed further. If you guys want to copy this part, you guys can please copy, giving you 1 minute time. Very good morning, Prachi. From examination point of view, no need to do any sort of hard work. Examiner will clearly give you the instruction that you have to calculate cost per passenger or cost per kilometer or cost per passenger kilometer. So whether to use single unit or composite unit, the instruction will be given in the questions. See, 50 into 500, why I did? Because the passengers traveling are 50 and the distance traveled is 500 kilometers. That is from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. That's why I have taken 50 passengers and 500 kilometers. So that's why 50 into 500. My point is, how come you got 550? This is incorrect, Shreya. Now, as I told you guys, there are two concepts that will be used in calculating cost per unit. That is single unit or composite unit. So when talking about transportation industry, single unit can be cost per passenger, or it can be cost per mile, cost per ton, cost per kilometers, and in composite unit, cost per passenger kilometer, cost per ton kilometer, etc. Similarly, in hotel industry, just writing few illustration, guys. So in hotel industry, it can be cost per room, it can be cost per day, it can be cost per guest. In composite unit, it can be cost per sorry, room days, or it can be cost per guest days. Again, in the hospital industry, it can be cost per patient, cost per bed. In composite unit, it can be cost per patient bed. So these are few illustrations wherein what is single unit and what is composite unit. Further, I have provided this all these illustrations in the PPT itself. So let me share this PPT with you guys. Sir, I'm sharing the PPT. So here in PPT also it is given that the service sector costing is a method of costing used by those undertaking which are providing services rather than into production of commodity. This method of costing is used by transportation companies, gas and electricity and water-based companies. Apart from this, hospital, hotels, theaters, etc. Further, when talking about transportation, it can be cost per ton in single unit, it can be cost per mile, cost per kilometer. In composite unit, it can be cost per ton kilometer, cost per passenger mile, etc., etc. So I've already discussed this part in detail. So now if you guys have any doubts, any queries in this part, you guys can please post your queries. Very good morning, Ganesh. Very good morning, Pranav. Today you are late, my dear. Waiting for your queries, guys. Yes, you can, Manoj. Now, guys, in transportation industry, for calculating composite unit, two approaches are possible. For calculating composite unit, two approaches are possible. That is absolute and commercial. There are two ways to calculate composite unit, that is absolute approach and commercial approach. When talking about absolute approach, it uses weighted average approach and it uses simple average approach. So specifically in transportation industry, the composite unit can be calculated by any of the two methods. The first one is absolute and second one is commercial. When talking about absolute, it uses the weighted average method, and when talking about commercial, it uses the simple average method. So let me discuss this concept with the help of example that is there in my study material, that is example number 1. I request you guys to please download the material what I have provided. I request you guys to please download the material what I have provided on the portal. Further, सब अपने calculator अपने पास लेके बैठ जाइए, because I'll be giving you few questions on calculation of these composite unit, that is either passenger kilometer or ton kilometer. So I request you guys सब अपने calculator अपने पास रख लीजिए, and apart from this, please download the material what I have provided. So let's start with example number 1. A lorry start. Again, for the students who have joined bit late, we have started with service costing. This method of costing is used by the companies who are into service sector. To calculate the cost per unit, they do prepare service cost sheet. We are discussing the concept of there are two methods that are used in transportation industry to calculate the composite unit, wherein the first method is absolute, second one is commercial. When talking about absolute method, it uses the weighted average method, weighted average approach, and when talking about commercial method, it uses the simple average approach. The notes are uploaded over the portal. I'll be taking few questions which are not there in the study material. So I request you guys to please download the notes. The first question is similar to a question that is there in the study material. So let's start with first example. It is available, my dear. Let me check. Admin sir, are you there? Ashok sir, are you there? Ashok sir, are you there? Sir, please check the notes are uploaded over the portal. Please check. Alok is saying, sir, it is available. Few are saying it is not available. I'm surprised. Please check, guys. It is there over the portal. Oh, sir, I think it's there or not there. Let me check, guys. Guys, the notes are over the portal. Please check. It is uploaded today morning on 5th February 2023. You guys can see it. Please check, guys. Please check, guys. It's there. I can see it. The date of upload is 5th February 2023. Ashok sir, are you there? Have you checked? Yes, sir. I can see it. Please check. Just wait for a minute, guys. Huh? Okay. ऐप में है ना? हाँ? नहीं, 5th February 2023 का ऐप में शायद दिख रहा है. PPT is uploaded in BOS portal but not on website. That is the reason some are getting and some are not getting. I think it is not there over the website. It is there over the portal. Or it is there over the BOS app. सर ये वेबसाइट पे कैसे अपलोड होता है? It is there, my dear. Previous batch notes are different from the. I mean, I have put up few new questions in this for the today's class. Sir, मिल रहा है आपको? Edwin sir? अभी देखिए ना, मैंने अभी वापस अपलोड किया है. पीडीएफ डाउनलोड में आएगा शायद. सर्विस कॉस्टिंग आज सुबह डाउनलोड किया था, आज सुबह मैंने अपलोड किया था. बैच 6 पेपर नंबर. मिला सर? Please check CC. I am sharing the screen for your reference. See, it is Cost and Management Accounting morning batch on 5th February 2023. अच्छा, वेबसाइट अलग है क्या? हाँ my friends, it is there under the PDF download section, so I request you to please download it from the portal. It is available over the app, guys. Yes, I think few of the students have got that material. Manoj Thakur, sir, in mobile app, it is there, dated 5th February 2023. I request you guys to please download it from the portal. It is there over the portal. So let's start, guys, without wasting any time. So this, let's start with example number 1. The same example is there in the study material. So let's start, guys. A lorry start with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. So I request you guys to please ignore the same question is there in the study material. Stop all the other activities and please focus what I'm discussing now. So example number 1. A lorry starts with a full load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. It unloads 8 metric tons in station B and the balance goods in station C. On return trip, it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons loaded at station C. The distance between A to B, B to C and C to A is 80, 120 and 160 kilometers. You have to compute absolute metric ton kilometer and commercial metric ton kilometer. Now, what is the difference? How to calculate the composite unit? Let me discuss. So there are three stations involved. A, B, and C. So whenever you see such type of problem wherein there are 2 or more than 2 stations, better prepare the diagram. It will be very easy for you to calculate the passenger kilometer or ton kilometer. काफी students को ये problem आता है कि sir, we are not being able to calculate the passenger kilometer or ton kilometer in a correct way. So better use this approach. I assure you guys, कहीं पे भी कोई भी mistake नहीं होगा. So there are 3 stations, that is A, B, and C. The bus is going, the lorry is going from A to B, B to C, and then C to A. When talking about the quantity that is traveled from A to B, it is 20 metric tons. However, at station B, 8 metric tons were unloaded. So the balance 12 tons will be transported from B to C. While in the return journey, the question is clearly mentioned that on return trip, it reaches station A with a full load of 16 metric tons. I repeat again, guys, from station A, the truck starts with a full capacity of 20 metric tons. Of this 20 metric tons, 8 tons were unloaded at station B. So the total quantity that traveled from B to C is only 12 metric tons. In return journey from C to A, they transported 16 metric tons. Now, the distance from A to B is how much? 80 kilometers. From B to C, it is 120 kilometers. If they are traveling directly from C to A, it is 162. So now the diagram is ready. We can easily calculate the absolute ton kilometers. That is very simple. From A to B, the 10 kilometers will be how much? 80 into 20. From B to C, it will be 120 kilometers into 12 metric tons. And from C to A, it is 160 kilometers into 16 metric tons. So we will get the total 10 kilometers. $4,160. So this is the weighted average approach wherein we calculate the absolute ton kilometer with the help of the diagram. When talking about the commercial ton kilometer, we have to calculate the average quantity of the units that are transported. So here in the average number of goods that are transported is how much? 20 from A to B plus 12 from B to C plus 16 from C to A divided by 3 into the total distance traveled. So average tons into total distance traveled. So total distance traveled is 120 plus 80, 200 plus 160, that is 360. So by simple average method, the average units traveled are 20 plus 12 plus 16 divided by 3 into 360 kilometers, the total kilometers. So this will be 5760 ton kilometer. Now this approach is more practical. So if the question is silent, always use this weighted average method. This method is to be used. That is, the commercial method is to be used only when asked. Rest, in all the questions, you have to use the weighted average method. I repeat again, her question may you have to use weighted average method, but if the question clearly specifies to use this commercial or simple average method, then only you have to use it. Rest, you have to follow this approach. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. Very good, Sraboni. Very good, Abdul. Very good, Nikita. Very good, Jyoti. Let me check. I think there is a calculation mistake. 20 into 80. So this is how we will get. Yes, there was a mistake in the calculation. So this is how we will calculate the absolute ton kilometer. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. This uses the weighted average approach and this approach uses the simple average approach. So question number 1 is over. If you guys have any doubts at this part, you guys can please post your query. Else we'll start with illustration number 2. Example number 2. I request you guys to please copy this part. It is metric ton kilometer. Shreya sir, why you have taken 12 metric ton instead of 8 at station B? So Shreya, very important, my dear. It is given in the question that a lorry start with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. So once it started from station A, there were total 20 metric tons in the lorry. But it unload 8 metric ton at station B. Station B pe they unloaded 8 metric tons. So the balance quantity that is there in the lorry is how much? Only 12 metric ton. And that is transported from B to C. So B to C kitna quantity travel kiya? Only 12 metric ton because 8 already हमने unload कर दिया station B पे. This is the way you have to solve, Dhyanesh. Now let's start with example number 2. So now henceforth, if we are solving any question, it will be only absolute method, not the commercial method. We will be using only weighted average method. The commercial method is to be used only when asked in the question. So henceforth, from example number 2 and onwards, we'll be using only the absolute method. So let's start with example number 2. Calculate total passenger kilometer from the following information. आपको क्या calculate करना है? Total passenger kilometer. Herein there are number of buses is 6. Number of days operating in a month is 25. They are operating for 25 days in a month and the number of buses are 6. Trips made by each bus per day is 8. Distance covered one side is 20 kilometers and the capacity of bus is 40 passenger. Normally 80% of the capacity utilization. So herein we have to calculate the passenger kilometer. So let me teach you guys first how to calculate kilometer. Calculation of kilometer and passenger kilometer. So let's start, guys. Now see, it is given in the question that the distance covered is 20 kilometers one side. One side, how many kilometers? 20 kilometers. So the onwards journey is for 20 kilometers. Therefore, the return journey will also be of 20 kilometers. So in a round trip, the bus travels for 40 kilometers. So every trip is of 40 kilometers and it is given in the question that the trips made by each bus per day is 8. Every day, each and every bus travels 8 times. So per day, for 40 kilometers, one trip, and there are 8 trips. So 8 4s are 32, 320 kilometers every bus is traveling. For how many days in a month? They are traveling for 25 days in a month. Further, there are how many buses? There are 6 buses. I repeat again, हर बस एक ट्रिप में कितना ट्रैवल करता है? 40 kilometers. Into how many trips in a day? 8 trips in a day. So on an average per day kilometer is how much? 320. Into 25 days in a month, into total number of buses are 6. So the total distance traveled is how much? 48,000 kilometers. Now, when talking about the passenger kilometer, again the same approach. Total distance traveled is how much? 20 kilometers one way. With how many passengers? Since we have to calculate the passenger kilometer, so how many passenger? The seating capacity is of 40 passenger and there is an occupancy of 80%. So how many passengers? 20 kilometers they are traveling with 32 passengers. In return journey also they are traveling 20 kilometers with 32 passengers. So this is the data for every trip. Into 8 trips in a day, into 25 trips in a month. So this is the per bus data. Into, if we multiply it by 6, we will get the entire data for all the 6 buses. So 20 into 32, 640 plus 640 into 8 trips in a day, into 25 trips in a month, into 6 buses. So this will be 15 lakh 36,000. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. The number of buses in the question is 6, not 5. Very good, Shivani. Very good, Prachi. Very good, Priyanka. Dhyanesh, your answer is correct. Vinodini, the number of buses is 6. No, dear Abdul, when they are talking that they are making 8 trips, it means 8 round trips they are talking about. This is the total kilometers traveled for the round trip. For 6 buses for a month. Anyone else having any doubts, queries? Any doubts? Vinodini, Sraboni, Priyanka, Shivani, Prachi, Abdul, Alok, Janesh, Pranav, Manoj, Mr. Sankaran, any doubts? You are always the first one to join the lecture. So any doubts, Sankaran? Very good, Nikita. Always follow this approach, guys. Very good. Now, let me put up a question in front of you and let's see who answers. Let's say number of buses are 5. Working days in a month, 25 days. months of operation, nine months, distance traveled one way is 25 kilometers. Bus make 4 round trips in a day. Seating capacity of the bus is 50 passengers. Occupancy in onwards journey and in return journey. Onwards journey, the occupancy is 80%, sorry, 90%, and in return journey, the occupancy is only 80%. Calculate kilometers and passenger kilometers for year of all 5 buses. So now waiting for your answers, guys. It's up to you, Abdul. That's really great, Mr. Sankaran. I really appreciate your efforts. So Abdul, now try to solve using this approach. Let's see you can solve using your approach this question or not. So the approach what I have discussed applies to all the question. See Abdul, herein you won't be able to solve this question by your approach. Let's see who has got the answer. So I have got answer from Abdul. I have got answer from Uday Vishwakarma. Jyoti Jha, please mention it is kilometers or passenger kilometer. It is given in the question that the bus make 4 round trips in a day. Everyone is getting different answers. Still, I'm not. Let me check who is able to answer correctly. So Manoj Kumar Thakur, Alok, Dhyanesh, just there are 4 round trips in a day. So giving you 2 minutes time for your answers. I have got answer from Kushi, Sri Lakshmi, Uday, Piyush, Dhyanesh. No, sorry. Now let's check whose answer is correct and whose answer is incorrect. Now, the onwards journey is of 25 kilometers. And the return journey is for 25 kilometers. So in a trip, in a round trip, they do travel 50 kilometers. There are 4 round trips in a day. They are working for 25 days in a month, into 9 months in a year, into the number of buses are how much? 5 buses. So this is the way you have to calculate the number of kilometers. So 50 into 4 into 25 into 9 into 5. So the correct answer is 2,25,000 kilometers. So now let me check whose answers are correct. Right from start, Abdul was the first one to answer. Your answers are correct. Your answer is correct. Alok, your answer was incorrect. Kushi, incorrect answer. Sri Lakshmi, correct answer. Uday, incorrect answer. Piyush, your answer was correct. Dhyanesh, let me check your final answers. Shreya, incorrect answer. Sunil Kumar, your kilometer calculation is correct. Just Shah, correct. Jyoti, correct answer. Lokesh Kumar, incorrect answer. Shivani, correct answer. Alok, correct answer. Nikita Namal, incorrect answer. Pranav, correct answer. And many more. Very good. Vinodini. Now, when talking about the calculation of passenger kilometer, again use the same approach. 25 kilometers they are traveling in onward journey, and the occupancy in onward journey is how much? 90%. That is 50 into 90%. That is 45 passengers are traveling in onward journey. In return journey, they are traveling for 25 kilometers, and the passengers traveling are 80%. That is 50 into 80%. That is only 40 passengers are traveling into 4 trips in a day, into 25 days in a month, into 9 trips in a year, into 5 buses. So 25 into 45, 2 into 4. So the correct answer is 101,25,000 passenger kilometer. And most of you guys were not able to answer passenger kilometers. So I request you guys to please follow the approach what I have discussed. That is, go step by step. कि भाई बस जो है onward journey में कितने किलोमीटर ट्रैवल कर रहा है? 25 किलोमीटर. With how many passengers? 45 passengers. In the return, they are traveling for 25 kilometers with how many passengers? 50 into 80%, that is 40 passengers. So this is for a part, this data is for every trip. Into 4 trips, into 25 days in a month, into 9 months in a year, into total number of buses are 5. So I think only Vinodini, your answer was correct. I told you, Mr. Abdul, I try my level. I try the best possible. I teach you guys the best possible approach. So stick to the approach what I'm teaching rather than doing this or that. Sir, please recalculate the passenger kilometers. So they are traveling for 25 kilometers in the onward journey. Sorry, 25 into 45. Sorry, there is a mistake from my end. 25 into 45. Sorry, guys. 2125 into 4 into 25 into 9 into 5. Sorry, guys. The correct answer is 95, 62, 500. I made a calculation mistake. Vinodini, your answer is incorrect. The correct answer is 95 lakh 62,500. There was a calculation mistake from my end. So Shivani, Tulika, your answer. Tukliya, your answer is correct. Vinodini, your answer was incorrect. Rest all 95, 62, 500. Sraboni, your answer is correct. Thank you so much, Piyush. Very good, Priyanka. Very good, Pranav. Very good, Virali. So those who are not getting the answer, please, I request you guys to please copy the solution. Please check the calculations, Vinodini. It is 25 into 45 plus 25 into 40 into 4 into 25 into 9 into 5. Jyoti, your answer was also correct. Jhanesh, your answer was correct. Now let's take one more question. No worries, my dear. Now let's say one more question. A lorry transport coal from its premise to rail yard. Distance traveled one way 10 kilometers. A 8-ton lorry transport coal from its premise to rail yard. The distance traveled one way is 10 kilometers. The lorry carries full load in the onward journey. However, it returns empty. round trip made in a day, 5 days of operation, 25, and number of lorries, let's say 10. Calculate kilometers and 10 kilometers. So waiting for your answers, guys. Very good, Miss Drishya K. So an 8-ton lorry transport coal from its premise to rail yard. The distance traveled one way is 10 kilometers. Lorry carries full load in the onward journey. However, it returns empty. Round trip made in a day is 5. The days of operation is 25 and the number of lorries are 10. So waiting for the answers, you have to calculate the kilometer and the ton kilometer. I have got answer from Abdul. Your answer is correct, Abdul. Waiting for your answers, guys. Okay, so I have got answers from Abdul. Answer is correct, Abdul. Vinodini, your answer is correct. Jyoti, both your answers are correct. Sunil Kumar, your answer is incorrect. Rest everyone correct answer. Khushi Surotia, your calculation of 10 kilometer is incorrect. Uday Vishwakarma, calculation of 10 kilometer is incorrect. It is given that the capacity of the lorry is 8 tons, Vinodini. Prachi Kapoor, again your calculation of 10 kilometer is incorrect. So now when talking about the calculation of kilometers, the distance traveled one way is 10 kilometers. In the return journey also 10 kilometers into 5 trips in a day into 25 trips in a month. Into the number of lorries are 10. So 10 plus 10, 20 into 5 into 25 into 10. So that is 25,000 kilometers. When talking about calculation of 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers with full load of 8 tons. However, in the return journey of 10 kilometers, the load is 0. So multiplied by 0, into 5 into 25 into 10. So this will be 1 lakh 10 kilometers. Please check your answers, Shreya. Sraboni, the capacity is 8 tons. Sri Lakshmi, please check your answer. Now your answers are correct. Khushi, Virali, Uday. Those who have any queries in this part can please post your queries, guys. Most of you guys, your answers were correct. Few were not being able to answer. Shreya, please check your answer. This is the correct way to solve the question. See, in return journey of 10 kilometers, the truck is empty. So into 0. Those who want to copy this question and solution can please copy. It is 1 lakh 10 kilometer Drishya. No worries, Shreya. I hope now you guys are thorough with the concept how to calculate passenger kilometer and 10 kilometer. So guys, let's take a break of 10 minutes and then we'll start with a full-fledged question on service costing of transportation industry. So let's take a break of 10 minutes. Welcome back, guys. So now let's start with the full-fledged question on service costing. So now, when talking about the service cost sheet of transportation industry, the format is very simple, not like cost sheet wherein you have to calculate so many things. The format is very simple and very clear, wherein you have to bifurcate all the expenses of the company in three parts. And discussing the format for service cost sheet of transportation industry, wherein you have to bifurcate all the expenditures in three parts, that is fixed, standing cost. You have to write all the fixed cost and standing cost. Thereafter, you have to write all the variable cost, running cost. Thereafter, the maintenance cost. So this will be total A, total B, total C. Total cost will be A plus B plus C divided by whatever the units of measurement will get the cost per unit. So very simple, guys. You have to divide all the expenses in three parts. That is fixed cost, standing cost, variable cost, running cost, and maintenance cost. सारे expenditure को आपको तीन part में divide करना है. All the fixed expenses, all the variable expenses, and all the expenses relating to maintenance. This is how we will get the total cost. The total cost divided by number of units, either it is single unit or composite unit, we will get the cost per unit. So this is how you guys have to prepare service cost sheet. That's really great. Hats off to you, Sankaran. So now let's start with example number 3 of the material what I have provided. Similar question is there in the study material also. So let's start with example number 3. I request you guys to please open example number 3. The similar question is there in the study material. That is illustration number 3. So let's start with illustration number 3 of the study material, or we can say example number 3 of my material. So ABC Transport Company has given a route of 40 kilometers long to run a bus. So the distance is 40 kilometers. The bus cost the company rupees 10 lakh. It has been insured at the rate of 3% per annum. The annual tax amounts to rupees 20,000. Garage rent is 20,000 per month. Annual repairs are 2,04,000. The bus is likely to last for 2.5 years. The driver salary is 30,000 per month and the conductor salary is 25,000 per month. In addition, they are getting a 10% as commission of the takings. So when talking about takings, it talks about the total revenue. This commission is to be shared by conductor and driver equally. The cost of stationery is 1,000 per month. Manager cum accountant salary is 17,000 per month. Petrol and oil is rupees 500 per 100 kilometers. The bus will make 3 up and down trips, carrying on an average 40 passengers on each trip. The bus will run for all 25 days in a month. Assume 15% profit on takings, that is 15% profit on revenue. Calculate the bus fare to be charged from each passenger. So let's start, guys. Let's first prepare the statement of cost. So let's start. Wherein the insurance cost is 3% per annum. Okay, Priyanka, you can please check the study material. That is illustration number 3 of the study material. So the insurance cost is 3% per annum. The cost of the vehicle is 10 lakh rupees. Into 3%. So this will be 30,000. The annual tax amounts to rupees 20,000. Garage rent is 20,000 rupees per month. So this will be 2,40,000. Now, the annual repairs are 2,04,000. This will form part of running maintenance cost. The repair cost is 2,04,000. It will form part of maintenance cost. So repair cost is this will form part of maintenance cost. The bus is likely to last for 2.5 years. And since no scrap value is given, so the amount of depreciation will be 4 lakh rupees. So depreciation amount will be rupees 4 lakh for the year. Thereafter, the driver salary and conductor salary will take the fixed salary in fixed cost and commission in the running cost. So the driver salary is 30,000 per month and the conductor salary is 25,000 per month. So 30,000 into 12, 25,000 into 12. So this will be 3,60,000 and this will be 3 lakh. Further, the cost of stationery is given, that is rupees 1,000 per month. So this will be 12,000. Further, the manager cum accountant salary is 17,000. This will be 2,04,000. Apart from this, petrol and oil cost will form part of variable cost. So this is all what about fixed cost. Now, when talking about the calculation of petrol and oil, it is rupees 500 per 100 kilometers. So we have to calculate the number of kilometers traveled. So calculation of kilometer. So here in it, the route is of 40 kilometers. So the onwards journey is for 40 kilometers. Plus the return journey is also for 40 kilometers. So every trip is of, each and every trip is of 80 kilometers. Into the bus will make 3 up and down trips. So 3 round trips in a day, into 25 days in a month, into 12 months in a year. So the total number of kilometers are 72,000. So we can easily calculate the cost of the petrol and oil. That is 72,000 kilometers. And the cost is rupees 500 for every 100 kilometers. So for every 100 kilometers, the cost is 500. So 72,000 divided by 100 into 500. So this will be 3,60,000. Garage rent is fixed here. Now, the driver and conductor commission will be writing separately in the variable cost. We'll be preparing a working note separately for the same. Now, this is the cost we have incurred in case of this ABC transport company. Now, herein, apart from this cost, they are paying driver and conductor commission as total 10% of the takings. Further, there is a profit also, that is 15% of the taking. So let's calculate the cost we have till now. So 30,000 plus 20,000 plus 2,40,000 plus 4 lakh plus 360 plus 3 lakh plus 12,000 plus 2 lakh 4,000. So 15 lakh 66,000 is this cost. This is 2 lakh 4,000. Now calculation of takings and total cost. Now fixed cost is 15,66,000. The maintenance cost is 2,04,000, and the petrol and oil cost is 3,60,000. So the total cost till now we have calculated is 21,30,000. That is the cost excluding commission is 21,30,000. In this we will add the commission and we will add the profit to get the total revenue. I repeat again, guys. Cost excluding commission is 21,30,000. In this we will add commission. In this we will add profit to get the total revenue. Now herein, when talking about the revenue, let's assume it as 100% or the takings as 100%. Further, it is given in the question that the profit is how much? Assume profit 15% of the taking. So let's say my profit is 15% of 100%. Further, the commission is given, that is 10% of this 100%. So how much will be the cost? I repeat again, of this 100 takings or revenue is the same. Out of this 100, 15% is the profit. 10% is what? My commission. So how much will be cost? 75%. So this 21,30,000, that is the cost excluding commission, is 75% of the total revenue. So how much will be the total revenue? The total revenue will be I repeat again, we have got the cost but excluding commission. And the cost as calculated is how much? 21,30,000. In this we have to add commission, that is 10% of the revenue. In this we have to calculate profit, that is 15% of the revenue. So let's assume that the total revenue is 100%. Of this 15% is the profit. Of this 10% is the commission. So out of this 100, 25% is gone. So it means what? The cost excluding commission is 75% of the revenue. So this 21,30,000 is 75%. So how much will be 100%? 28,40,000. So once the revenue is calculated, we can easily calculate the cost. That is 28,40,000 is the revenue. Of this 15% is the profit. So my profit will be 4,26,000. My commission will be 10%. My commission will be 10% of the total revenue. That is 2,84,000. This 2,84,000 is to be shared equally by driver and the conductor. So the commission will be 1,42,000 for the driver, 1,42,000 for the conductor. So therefore, my total variable cost will be how much? 6,44,000. And my total cost will be either 2130 plus 284, or you can write the total also. So 21,30,000 plus 2,84,000. So my total cost will be 24,14,000. That is total of A, total of B, total of C. When talking about the calculation, refer working note, refer working note. So this is how the total revenue will be calculated. So till now, if you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your query in this calculation. I'll be addressing your query first, and then we will proceed with the calculation of fare. Very good, Abdul. Very good, Alok. Your answer is correct. Shri Lakshmi, hopefully your query is resolved. Still, if you have any doubts, you can please post your query. Any doubts, Pranav? Any doubts, Priyanka? Prachi Kapoor, any doubts? Drishya, any doubts? Shreya Shah, any doubts? Here, taking means the total revenue. Now let's calculate the passenger kilometer. Since we have to calculate the fare to be charged per passenger, so we have to calculate the passenger kilometer. So 40 kilometers the bus is traveling, and herein the seating capacity, the trip carries on an average 40 passengers. So 40 into 40, in the return journey also 40 into 40. Into 3 trips in a day, into 25 days in a month, into 12 months in a year. So my passenger kilometer will be this will be 28,80,000 passenger kilometer. Now let's calculate the fare per passenger kilometer. Revenue per passenger kilometer. That is 28,40,000 divided by 28,80,000. That is 0.986. So when talking about the fare to be charged one way, per passenger per kilometer, the revenue we are expecting is 0.986. And a passenger if travels for 40 kilometers, so how much will be the fare? it will be 39.44 for one way journey. And if we want to calculate the round trip fare, this will be 39.44 into 2. That is 78.88. If you guys have any doubts, queries, confusion in this part, you guys can please post your query. Yes, Pranav. Dhyanesh, it depends upon question to question. So much depends upon your assumption. See, let's say if the depreciation is given and it is based on kilometers rather than the life is in years. So better if it is given in years, the life is given in years, we will assume it as fixed. But if it is given in kilometer, that the total life in kilometer is 15 lakh and we have used for 1 lakh kilometer, then this will be variable. So you have to follow the instruction as given in the question. Accordingly, you have to put up whether it is fixed cost or whether it is variable cost. Vinodini sir, fair value is little confusing. Please explain it again. So guys, very simple. We are expecting a revenue of per passenger per kilometer 0.986. मतलब एक पैसेंजर से 1 किलोमीटर का we are expecting 0.986. So if a particular passenger travels for 40 kilometers, how much will be the revenue? How much will be the fare for 39.44? Revenue or fare per passenger per kilometer. I request you guys to please copy the presentation and explanation because this explanation is in detail. And in the meanwhile, giving you 4 to 5 minutes. So if you guys want to post your queries, then you can please post your query. Thank you so much, Sankaran. So waiting for your queries, giving you 3 to 4 minutes time to please copy and please post your queries, whatever the queries you have. Manoj Kumar Thakur, yes, if any scrap value is given, then original cost minus scrap value divided by useful life. Prachi Kapoor, sir, while you are solving the question, I find it too easy, but when I'm solving, forget the important point. So, Prachi, the only way to resolve your problem is that practice. You need to practice a lot and you have to focus on what you are reading and what you are studying. Read the question carefully, right from start till end, each and every point carefully, and underline the points which are you find it important in a question. Then only you'll be able to solve the question in a correct way. So do we need to do total cost divided by fair oblique? I'm not getting Mr. Bilal. Sir, revenue part, please explain again. So Prachi, when talking about the revenue part, the cost we have calculated, that is 15,66,000 plus 3,60,000. This 21,30,000 is what? 15,66,000 plus 3,60,000 plus 2,04,000. So this cost 21,30,000 is the cost excluding commission. Now we have to calculate the commission and profit and the total revenue. Here in the question, it is given clearly that the profit is 15% of the revenue and the commission is 10% of the revenue. So ये revenue में से 15 और 10 तो चला गया, तो बचा हुआ 70% क्या है? Very simple, the balance cost. So this 21,30,000 is what? The balance cost, that is equals to 75%. So how much will be 100%? 28,40,000. So this is how I calculated the revenue. Yes, Jyoti, you can present the solution in the same way in exams also. Mr. Bilal, can you please repost your query? Any doubts, Jyoti, Shivani, Priyanka, Dhyanesh, Vinodini, Sraboni, Abdul, Alok, Pranav? Any doubts? Lokesh, Shreya Shah, and Just Shah? So guys, let's proceed further with the next question, that is example number 4. I'm starting with example number 4. Sir, do we need to do the total revenue divided by fare? See, Bilal, we are expecting a revenue of 28,40,000 and the passenger kilometer are 28,80,000. It means how much revenue we are expecting per passenger per kilometer? 0.986. So 0.986 is what? The fare or revenue per passenger per every kilometer. So if a particular passenger travels for 40 kilometers, the fare to be charged is 39.44, or round off we can say 40 rupees for 40 kilometers. Shri Lakshmi, when talking about the fare part, 0.986 is what? The fare per passenger per kilometer. हर एक पैसेंजर का हर एक किलोमीटर के लिए 0.986 is the revenue that we are expecting. I repeat again, 0.986 is what? The fare per passenger per kilometer. So if a particular passenger travel for 10 kilometers, the fare will be 9.86. If a particular passenger travel for 40 kilometers, the fare will be 39.44. Since it is given in the study material, Dhyanesh, that's why I have prepared a new column, that is maintenance cost. But yes, repairs cost is a part of maintenance. Repairs cost is a part of variable cost. However, if a separate breakup is done for maintenance cost, then repair cost will form part of maintenance cost. Waiting for your queries, guys. So let's start with the next question, that is example number 4. The similar question is there in the study material. So let's start. Yes, Dhyanesh, it is for presentation. So let's start with example number 4. Global Transport Limited charges rupees 90 per ton for its 6-ton truck lorry load from city A to B. So they are charging rupees 90 per ton, 90 per ton for its 6-ton lorry that is starts from city A and ends at city B. The charges for the return journey are 84 only. Once they are coming from B to A, the charges are 84 rupees only per ton. No concession or reduction in these rates is made for any delivery of goods at intermediate station C. So if any goods are delivered at station C, that is the intermediate station between A and B, no concession is offered. In January 2020, the truck made 12 outward journey for city B with a full load. So in January 2020, the truck made 12 outward journey with a full load of 6 tons. However, out of which 2 tons were unloaded twice in the way at city C. Matlab city C pe they have unloaded 2 tons twice. So it means 4 tons were unloaded at city C. The truck carried a load of 8 tons its return journey for the 5 times, but once caught by police and 1200 was paid as fine. For the remaining trips, the truck carried full load, out of which all the goods on load were unloaded once at city C. But it returned without any load from city C to A. The distance from A to C and B is 140 kilometers and 300 kilometers respectively. Annual fixed cost and maintenance charges are 60,000 and 12,000 respectively. Running charges spent during the month of Jan is 2944. You are required to find out the absolute ton kilometer and profit for the month of January 2020. A very good question, and it has been asked in exams more than 5 to 6 times. So let's start, guys. Now here in the important part is calculation of absolute ton kilometer. Now, guys, since there are 3 stations involved, A, B, and C. So A is the starting point and B is the ending point, and there is an intermediate station, let's say station C. In the return journey also, they are coming via C only. So in return journey also it is C. So A to C, C to B. The truck is traveling from B to C and then C to A. Now it is given in the question the truck made 12 outward journey, total 12 outward journey किया of 6 tons in the month of January. So 12 outward journey into 6 tons, so 72 tons they carried from A to C. However, 2 tons were unloaded twice. It means what? 4 tons were unloaded at city C. So it means from city C to B, only 68 tons were transported. I repeat again, guys, the capacity of the lorry is 6 tons, and the truck made 12 outward journey. So 12 into 6, 72 tons were loaded at station A. In the intermediate station C, they unloaded 2 tons twice. So 4 tons were unloaded at city C. So the balance number of tons transported from city C to B is how much? 68 tons. Now in the return journey, the truck carried a load of 8 tons in its return journey for 5 times. So out of this total 12 trips, the onward trips, in 5 trips, they carried a load of 8 tons, that is above their capacity. So from B to A, total 40 tons were transported, that is 5 into 8. So 40 tons from B to C, and C to A also 40 tons. In the remaining journey, the truck carried full load, out of which all goods on load were unloaded once at city C. So the amount of balance journey is how much? Out of 12 journey, the return 5 journey is done with 8 tons. So balance we are left out with 7 journeys. So they carried a full load in 7 journeys. So 7 into 6, 42 tons were transported from B to C. However, 6 tons were unloaded at city C. So it means what? 36 tons were transported from city C to A. So the total number of units that are transferred from city C to A is 76 tons. And from B to C, it is 82 tons. If you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your queries. Waiting for your queries, guys. In this calculation, if you guys have any doubts, A se start kiya, total 12 journeys into 6 tons, so 72 tons. But 4 tons were unloaded at city C. So C to B, how many tons were transferred? Only 68. In the return journey, for the 5 times, they carried a load of 40 tons. That is 8 into 5, 40 tons. So B to C, C to A, 40 tons, 40 tons. But for the remaining trips, they carried the full load. That is for the remaining trips, that is 12 minus 5, 7 trips. They carried a full load. That is B to C, 7 into 6, 42 tons. But once all the 6 tons were unloaded at city B. So balance, that is 42 minus 6, 36 tons were transported from city C to A. So waiting for your queries. Sir, please explain the return journey once again. So out of 12 trips in the return journey, for the 5 trips, they carried 8 tons, and for the 7 trips, they carried 6 tons. So 40 and 42. Now, out of these 42 tons, 6 tons were unloaded at city C. They unloaded 6 tons. It means the balance tons transferred from C to A is 36 tons. I hope Nikita and Prachi, your queries are resolved. Nikita and Prachi, hopefully your queries are resolved. That's great, Mr. Sankaran. So now, let's proceed further. The distance is given in question That is, the distance from city A to C is 140 kilometers. And A to B is 300. So 140 kilometers A to C. So C to B will be 160 kilometers. Similarly, B to C, it is 160 kilometers and 140 kilometers. So if this chart is prepared, we can easily calculate the absolute ton kilometers, that is A to C, 72 into 140, C to B, 68 into 160, B to C, 82 into 160, and C to A, 76 into 140. Yes, Abdul, very true, very clear and perfect. So 70 into 72 into 140, 68 into 160, 82 into 160, and 76 into 140. So 44,720 is the ton kilometers. Now let's prepare the statement of cost. Fixed cost oblique standing cost is given in the question, that is 60,000 for the year. So 60,000 divided by 12. So this will be 5,000. Further, running charges are 2,944. And maintenance charges are 12,000 for a year. So for a month, it is 1,000. So 8,944 is the total cost. When talking about the statement of profit, we will first calculate the revenue from A to B and from B to A. Since they are offering no concession if the goods are unloaded at city C, so it means they will be getting a revenue from A to B on 72 tons, and from B to A they will be getting a revenue on 82 tons. So 82 and 72. And in the onwards journey, the rate is 90, and in the return journey, the rate is 84. So 72 tons, the rate is 90, and for 82 tons, the rate is 84. So total revenue is 13,368 minus the total cost, that is 8,944. The penalty paid will never form part of total cost. However, for calculating profit, it will be deducted. So the penalty paid is 1,200. It will be deducted to calculate the total profit. So the total profit will be 3,224. If you guys have any doubts, queries in this question, you guys can please post your query. Yes, it is transferred to costing P&L. It will form part of statement of profit. So waiting for your queries, giving you 5 minutes. Please post your queries relating to this question. Priyanka, Shivani, Abdul, Dhyanesh, Alok, Pranav, Jash, Shreya, anyone having any doubts? Rakhi, any doubts? Sri Lakshmi, Vinodini, Jyoti Jha, Prachi Kapoor, Mr. Bilal, any doubts? I request you guys to please copy this presentation. Shreya, any doubts? Sraboni, any doubts? Smile, can you please elaborate what all calculation you wanted the explanation? I mean, what all calculation you are finding difficult? So if this is the total cost, then this cost divided by 10 kilometer. So cost 8944 divided by 44,720. That is point. Okay, Akrama, Drishya, and I think Smile, all of you have the same query. So let me explain this part once again. The truck made 12 outward journey. Total 12 बार outward journey किया. They carried a full load of 6 tons. So, one second, let me check out if I have a red marker. So for the 12 times, they carried a load of 6 tons. So total 72 tons they loaded from city A. Of this 72 tons, 2 tons were unloaded twice at city C. It means 4 tons were unloaded at city C. So balance tons carried is how much? 72 minus 468. In the return journey, for the 5 times they carried a load of 8 tons. So 40 tons from B to C and C to A also 40 tons. But in the remaining journey, that is remaining 7 journey, out of 12, 5 times they carried 8 tons. And in the remaining journey, they carried only 6 tons. So 42 tons they carried. Of these 42 tons, 6 tons were unloaded at city C. So out of 42, 6 tons were unloaded at city C. It means the tons that are transported from C to A is how much? 42 minus 6. So this is how I got 36 tons. So the total is 72, 68, 82 and 76. Into the kilometers, that is 140, 160, 160 and 140. This is how I calculated the absolute ton kilometer. I hope Akrama and Drishya and Ismail, hopefully your queries are resolved. Anyone else having any doubts? Hopefully, Drishya and Akarma and Ismail, your queries are resolved. Okay, ma'am. So, guys, that's it for the day. There are 2 more sessions on service costing. In the next session, we'll be discussing 2-3 more questions on transportation industry, thereafter hospital industry, hotel industry, and few more questions on various service industries. So thank you so much for participating in the session. Thank you so much for your time and patience. God bless you. Try to solve the questions what I have discussed in this session. Once again, let's meet tomorrow, that is on Monday, with the next part of this chapter. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you on Monday.